Good morning, my name is Abigail Coughlin and I'm an 8th grader from Atlantic Middle School.
Good morning, my name is Mallory Rimovitz and I am an 8th grader at Broadmeadows Middle School.
Good morning, my name is Madeline Barza and I'm an 8th grader at Central Middle School.
Good morning, my name is Isabella Quincy and I'm an 8th grader at Point Webster Middle School.
Good morning, my name is Kalentia Ejapoma and I'm from Sterling Middle School.
Project 351 is an organization that helps you lead community service acts, and the first day was held on January 17th, which was called Launch Day. And we started our service projects there, and we met so many inspiring people like Governor Charlie Baker and his wife, Lauren Baker, and Congresswoman Ayanna Pressley.
Yeah. So we also met Commissioner William Gross of the Boston Police Force, and he was actually my service hero, and he was so welcoming. Like, he was a little intimidating at first, but not by his personality, just by, he had like a hat on, he was very stylish. But he was so nice. He took pictures with us. He has like all holds up like a Patriots Boston Police badge. He was just so nice and relatable, and he just told about his stories. And I think that's really what Project 351 is about, just getting to know people in your community and just making impacts.
Yes, Congresswoman Ayanna Pressley was so inspiring to me because just the way she said her like speeches, and she was just like incredibly inspiring. Like, I left being like, oh my gosh, like if I could be like Ayanna Pressley, I would like give up my right arm.
All the speakers were really inspiring and spoke of doing community service and helping your community and being a leader.
They all like talked about their stories and what they went through and like how they got to where they were today, and it's like very, like you said, inspiring because, you know, like they started out just like us. They could have been in an organization like 351. Like, they started where we are today, and it shows that we could like become like them.
On that day, we did, oh my God,
Lots of community service.
community service, and we did something in memory of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., and there was a quote that said, everybody can serve because everybody can be a leader because everybody can serve. And that was like very inspiring to me, and because of that, like, we were having so much fun. The day went like so fast, and I still wanted to stay there, and it was like very fascinating.
So I was selected as an ambassador from Atlantic Middle School by my student council leader, and I think he chose me because he saw the leadership qualities that I have, and he thought that I would be a good fit for Project 351 because the whole point of it is to become a leader, and you might not be a known leader because you might be quiet, but you're a leader, you might not know it.
Yeah, I was elected for ambassador by my peers and my principal because they saw leadership qualities in me that they thought would be great for Project 351.
I was asked to be Project 351 ambassador by my social studies teacher, who's also one of the teachers that runs our Central Senate.
I was selected to represent Point Webster just because, like, everybody knows I'm in like a lot of clubs, and I also do a lot of community service outside of 351.
I was selected as an ambassador for Project 351 by my principal from Sterling Middle School because he saw that I had potential for being at Project 351, and I would be good at helping people.
A community service project that I brought back to Atlantic was a big spring service project. And so we did a big Cradles to Crayons clothes drive, and we got so many clothes and like books and toys and school supplies. And I was overwhelmed by how generous people were being, but I think they just saw that some people really do need it. And when people need stuff, I think communities tend to come together and it's really nice, and it's nice to see it, and it was amazing.
Yeah, at Broadmeadows, I also held a clothing drive, and the amount of clothes that we got was so overwhelming. I was shocked. Like, I really didn't know if it was gonna like pull through, but it did. And everyone was so supportive with it, and I just loved that out of the kindness of their hearts, they gave to the drive. And I feel like it was an absolutely amazing experience.
I also led spring service at Central Middle School, and I too was very surprised and inspired by all the donations I received.
I also brought spring service back to Point Webster, and like you said, it was just so inspiring to see how many people brought in all those clothes and like really helped the community all together.
I brought spring service to Sterling Middle School, and I thought it was like marvelous because at first I thought no one cared, but then later on like people started bringing clothes, and then we got like a lot of them, and that made me feel very happy and like cool knowing that other people cared about everyone in this world.
So at Project 351, I went to an elementary school, and we painted the auditorium and the bathrooms because it was really dull and depressing before we got there. And to be learning in that type of environment, it wouldn't be fun, and you wouldn't want to go to school. So it was nice to actually have a real impact on people just like us, because just a few years ago we were in elementary school too. And to know that students now might be getting a better education because of what we did, that is huge for me, because we know we're making an impact.
Yeah, at Broadmeadows, actually not at Broadmeadows, sorry, on launch day, I went to the Pine Street Inn in Boston. It's a homeless shelter, and we made burritos, and we made just a bunch of different lunch foods for them. And I was very happy that I got to give back to people, because people in homelessness, they don't get much. So I feel like me helping them out was great.
At launch day, I was at Service Village, and we put together a bunch of different care kits for kids and adults. We put together hygiene kits for kids who may not have access to toiletries, such as shampoo and soap. We made blankets for a homeless shelter in Boston, and we wrote cards for veterans.
So on launch day, I went to Cradles to Crayons, which is basically just an organization that collects items for kids and puts them into packages, and they give them to them, so there's school supplies, art supplies, toys, and clothes. So they have different stations, and when I went there, I was at the clothing section. So Cradles Crayons is all about quality over quantity. They want to give them good, almost new clothes. So we just sorted through them and was like, oh, that can be used, that can't, and it was very humbling.
Just like you, I went to Cradles to Crayons, and I sorted out clothes for kids too, and it was very nice, and it was sad knowing that some kids didn't have things that we took for granted, and I felt very good being able to pack clothes for them and knowing that they'll be happy seeing all the things they get.